Hello BookTube, Emmy Walker here to do another tag! Yeah, I wasn't tagged by anybody. I saw Keely over at A Bibliophile's Journey do this one. It's the Time of Day book tag, and I will link her video down below as well as the original, who I think that's they're called Christoria 2027, and I'll link the original tag down below as well. Question 1, Time to Wake Up, a book that opens your eyes to a genre you don't normally read. I went with Agatha Christie. I've only read a few of her books, and I can't even remember which ones I've read. I think Murder on the Orient Express and maybe the ABC Murders? I can't even remember, but I really enjoyed them, and I don't normally read mystery. I still don't really read mystery, but because of her, I think it's made me want to read more mystery. You know, I have that in my bucket list. Question 2, No Time for Breakfast, a book that's been sitting on your shelf for ages. I honestly have no idea which book I've had on my shelf the longest. I want to say probably the Harry Potters, because those are the books that have really gotten me into reading, but more likely it's any one of the classics I have. I think they're down on lower shelves. I've picked up, to show you here, A Swan's Way by Marcel Proust. My biggest reasoning for wanting to read this in the first place was because of Gilmore Girls, and my biggest reason for being afraid of reading this is also because of Gilmore Girls. She talks about how, you know, how long it is. Just, even though it's not a long book, it feels long. And so I've been afraid. I don't even know what it's about, to be honest. Question 3, Time to Travel to Work, a book you read whilst traveling. This one, it was The Golden Compass by Philip Pullman. I actually listened to the audiobook in my car, so I was, you know, traveling while reading. I was physically driving and, you know, listen reading. Question 4, You've Had a Hard Time at Work, a book that you struggled to get through. There was a similar question on one of the other tags I did, and I picked a different book, but I figured I should keep it varied, and for that I'm going to go with Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. I enjoyed Persuasion much more, and those are the only two of hers that I've read, but I don't know, I can't really get into this kind of older writing style. Question 5, Lunchtime, a quick and easy read. For this one, I picked The Cirque du Freak by Darren Shan. This first one I think is called A Living Nightmare. Yes, A Living Nightmare. And these are very quick reads. They're only, you know, maybe 200 pages at most, and the writing style is very middle grade, and just you can just fly right through them, and they're fun, and yeah. Question 6, Time for your performance review. A book that you purchased based off of a review you read or watched, and you can pretty much pick any book that I own. At least half of the books I own are based off of what I've seen on YouTube. More recently, I'm going to say The Sin Eater's Daughter by Melinda Salisbury, and some of this was because of the cover. I saw it, I don't remember why I originally saw this. I'm pretty sure it was on BookTube, and it was just because of the cover, and then I heard good things about it as well, and it just pushed me over to the edge, you know, to buy it. Question 7, Time to Travel Home, a book that follows a character who's going on a journey. Again, you can probably, you know, pick any one of these books. At least half of them are going to follow somebody on some journey. But I think if we're going to be going on a physical journey where someone's actually, you know, stepping left foot, right foot, I'm going to go with The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. And I know I mentioned The Hobbit quite a few times, but it's one of my favorites, and, you know, can't ever talk about, you know, The Hobbit enough. Question 8, Dinner Time and Conversation, a book you don't hear that much about, but you loved. It's another one I mentioned previously, but The False Prince by Jennifer Nielsen. It's a book I may have heard once or twice, and I don't even think it was people I saw on YouTube talking about it, but I really enjoyed it, especially this first one. Question 9, Time to Zone Out in front of the TV, your favorite book that has become a movie or TV show. Technically, what I'm going to answer here is not what I would really pick, but my favorite book at the moment has not been made into a movie or TV. So we're going to go with the A Song of Ice and Fire series, particularly, obviously, Game of Thrones is the TV show. I've only actually ever seen the first and second season. I stopped getting HBO a while back, and so I couldn't really continue on with them, which is what pushed me to finish all of the books. I had only read the first 2 books, and that was, again, after I saw the first 2 seasons. And I recently discovered that because they're moving up in the show and they haven't really completed the books, obviously, that they're working with George R.R. Martin, and that they might kind of like have like book spoilers. Like the show will have stuff that will be in the books. And so I'm not even sure I even want to watch the show until I finish the books because I don't want the books spoiled for me. I don't know, it seems really crazy. I wouldn't want the book spoiled for me. It's fine if they want to go off in a different direction, whatever, but don't spoil the books. Question 10, Bedtime, a book that is currently on your nightstand. I don't typically leave books on my nightstand. When I do read in bed, it's the book that I've been carrying around in my purse all day, and it goes right back in my purse. Every once in a while I might fall asleep and leave it on my nightstand, but it goes right back in my purse in the morning. So I can't really pick a specific one, but when I opened the drawer to my nightstand, I discovered this book here inside of it. And this is the Young Merlin trilogy by Jane Yolen. And when I was pregnant with my son, this is the books, well, there's 3 obviously, these were the books that I was reading to him while he was, becoming a person. And so yeah, I found that, so I guess this counts, right? So, yeah. Question 11. Nighttime, a book that you couldn't put down, so you stayed up way too late reading. For that one, I'm going to go with Cinder by Marissa Meyer. This is, I think, my favorite book of the year. I mention this a lot, pretty much, I'd say at least 1 out of every 3 tags I do. I'm going to mention Cinder because I love it so much, and it needs to become a movie. If you didn't notice, this was the one that I would have had made into a movie. So that's all there is. That's the time of day book tag. I hope you enjoyed the answers. Let me know some of your answers down below, and also don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. See you later, BookTube. Question time. Question time!